The suitcase felt heavier than she'd planned for. When her hand wrapped around the handle, her knuckles turned pale and she almost tipped backward. That flicker of surprise, so brief it almost slipped past, was enough to make every hour I'd spent rehearsing for this weekend worthwhile. She forced a laugh. "What did you do? Pack bricks in here?" Her eyes flicked toward me, fishing for a response. I kept my face unreadable, gave the smallest shrug. "You've got everything you'll need." My tone was calm, deliberate. This trip was no ordinary trip. She hesitated just a second too long before flashing the same rehearsed smile she'd been wearing for months. "You're so thoughtful," she murmured, brushing a cold kiss across my cheek. I didn't return it. I watched her wheel the suitcase across the floor, the plastic wheels squealing under the weight. Only after her car disappeared down the street did I breathe. Showtime. Her name was Amanda. 8 years of marriage, 10 together. Most of that time I'd have called us content, even happy. We had our routines, our little jokes, the future we thought we were building. At least, that's what I believed, until 3 months ago. That night she'd left her phone on the counter while she showered. I wasn't looking for anything. The screen lit up on its own. My eyes just drifted. "Can't wait to see you this weekend. Miss you like crazy. Brent." Brent? She didn't know a Brent. No friend, no coworker, nothing. My gut sank. But I didn't storm upstairs. I'd learned long ago that charging in blind never ends well. I needed certainty. She needed no way out. In the weeks after, I played my part, all smiles and small talk while I uncovered the truth piece by piece. A keylogger on her laptop. Screenshots of her messages. Emails. Hotel receipts from nights she said she was working late. Once, I even followed her, straight to a boutique hotel downtown. Predictable. I slipped a GPS tracker into her car. Each lie, each "I love you" whispered at the door before she left, cut a little deeper. Still, I said nothing. She thought she was the one in control. She never saw that I was pulling the strings, unraveling her story thread by thread. So when she announced a girls' weekend trip, I nearly laughed. Too convenient. Too rehearsed. Friends with suddenly shifting schedules, cover stories that didn't line up. The faint trace of a cologne on her blouse that I didn't own. I told her, "You deserve a break. I'll keep busy here." She smiled wide, relieved. The arrogance. She packed her best dresses, ones she hadn't worn for me in years. Meanwhile, I packed a different kind of bag, one filled with evidence, printed messages, screenshots, receipts. Proof that would tear apart the world she thought she controlled. Brent lived in a luxury high-rise across the city. I knew it well, I'd circled it enough times. Late 30s. Designer watch. Executive smile. The type of man who never pictured the husband on the other side of his affair. Her car was already parked nearby, crooked in her rush. I waited an hour. Enough time for them to feel safe, comfortable. Then I walked to the door. Knocked, steady and sure. Brent opened it. His easy grin vanished as soon as he saw me. "Can I help you?" he asked, wary. "Oh, I think you can," I said, stepping inside. "Would you like me to continue the story beyond this point, or keep it ending with that moment of confrontation?" He froze for a second, like he wasn't sure whether to slam the door in my face, but I didn't give him the chance. I drove my shoulder forward, forcing my way in. "Don't even think about it, Brent," I said sharply. "You and I are going to have a conversation." Amanda appeared in the hallway, pale and shaken, clutching her robe as if it could protect her. "Mark, what are you doing here?" she whispered. I didn't look at her. My eyes stayed locked on him. "You know who I am, don't you?" He swallowed hard. "I think you should leave." A hollow laugh escaped me. "Oh, I'll go. But not until we've had our little talk." I dropped my bag on the coffee table and emptied it. Photographs, screenshots, receipts, printed emails, all of it spilled out across the surface like broken glass. His eyes flicked from the evidence to Amanda, then back to me. "You really thought you were smart, didn't you?" My voice rose. "Thought you wouldn't get caught." "Mark, please." Amanda's voice shook. "Can we talk about this in private?" "Private?" I spun toward her, anger boiling beneath my skin. "Now you want private? Where was that when you were sneaking around with him? She flinched, tears brimming in her eyes. But I didn't soften. Don't you dare cry, Amanda. You made your bed. Now you lie in it. Brent looked like he wished he could disappear. How's it feel? I asked coldly, knowing the game's over. Look, man. He stammered. I didn't. Save it. I cut him off. I don't care about your excuses. But your wife might. His face drained of color. What? Oh, yeah, I said, a cruel smile touching my lips. I found her. Sweet woman. She deserves to know who she married. Mark, don't, Amanda begged, voice breaking. I turned back to her, my tone low and sharp. You should have thought of that before. I grabbed my bag and headed for the door. Just before stepping out, I faced Brent one last time. Go near my wife again, and I'll make sure everyone at your job knows exactly what you are. Then I left, the silence behind me thick enough to choke on. The aftermath came quick and merciless. The next day I sent every piece of evidence to Brent's wife, along with a short message. Sorry for the pain. You deserve the truth. Within days, she filed for divorce. By the end of the week, word had spread to his company. He was encouraged to resign. Amanda begged, cried, tried to explain herself. I didn't listen. The divorce papers were already signed. She walked out of my life with nothing but what she could carry. It wasn't easy, none of it was. But as I stood in the quiet emptiness of my house, the crushing weight of betrayal finally lifted. I had lost a wife, yes. But in return, I had gained something far more important, freedom.